Hello, everyone, and welcome to that one time we read manga podcast where we four friends decided to start reading manga together and coming here and talking about it. My name is Tim, and fun fact, I still don't believe this came out before Naruto.
My name is Duncan. Fun fact about me is I don't have a fun fact thought up right now. But get back to me later.
Well.
You're a failure, Duncan.
How the table turns.
How the turntables.
Mm-hmm. See, last time it was me who didn't have a fun fact. I learned from my mistakes.
Yeah.
You should have learned from my mistake.
Jesus, Duncan. All right, well, failure is the best form of growth, I guess.
Opportunity.
Hey, everybody, my name's John, and my fun fact is Killua is by far the most entertaining, boring character that exists.
I'm interested to see what that exactly means, but yeah. I thought your fun fact was going to be that failure is the best form of learning.
No, that's not fun. That's just a fact.
It's an unfortunate fact.
It's unfortunate. It's not fun at all.
Next week we'll start off with unfortunate facts.
Oh, I have a lot of those.
I guess I'm going to start mine off with an unfortunate fact.
Yeah!
Being 5'7", my dunk ability is the base level.
Oh.
What's your name?
Can't dunk. Don't worry. I don't think anybody on this podcast can dunk, and even though
It's in my name.
at least two of us are 6 foot. No, you just get a lot of coffee.
Shut up.
Duncan said, hashtag weebs can dunk too.
His name's Duncan, too.
Yeah, I
Oh, his
Duncan.
name was... he could do it. Name alone.
I don't think you could.
I do have hops. That's a fact.
Pixar didn't happen.
I get hops from IPAs and ales and wheats.
So you're an alcoholic. Okay.
Oh, okay, there's my fun fact. I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, welcome to the club. Oh, man. It's okay. So, hey, this week we went back to HunterXHunter based on Duncan's recommendation. Basically, it was us catching up to him because he screwed us in the first time.
It was for
So
a good
now we
reason,
all-
though, because it's a great series, and I wanted the rest of you
really
to
good.
catch up to where I was at, so you could appreciate it just as much as me and technically Nate.
Oh,
I
yes.
absolutely
refuse to believe you had that kind of forethought when you did this. You just were selfish and wanted to continue on your own.
That's... Sure.
Yeah, that's true.
He's right.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
He's right, you know.
All right, so a lot happened. First of all, can I start off with just my very first thought on this whole thing?
Go
I
ahead.
will allow this.
I was very disappointed with how the rock paper scissors ended, which was just it ended on such a cliffhanger, and then the very next, like the opening of the next chapter is just like, oh dang, I lost. Like we didn't even see the result. It was just, yep, I lost and everything's gone. I'm like,
Yep.
what the fuck? Ah, man, I waited like a month and a half to read the rest of it for nothing. Yeah, I was so
You're
like,
welcome.
God damn it. Yeah, I was so fucking like, God damn it. I mean, I knew I like HunterXHunter. I'm not gonna say like I was totally disappointed, but I was immediately like, oh, what a cliffhanger! This is gonna be great. And then it's just like, ah, dang, I lost. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, just be happy that you didn't have the... well, in the anime, you got to see how they spent those hours waiting.
It was a whole episode.
So,
Yeah, it was an entire episode, and that's just not in the manga.
Yes, I did
that's
watch
why
that
we're reading
episode.
manga, not. Well, yeah, that's why we're reading manga, not watching anime, because we would.
It
be,
was-
oh,
It was absolutely a filler episode. They just sat around reading books and complaining about being stuck together. It was kind of a waste of 20 minutes of my life.
Yeah, I mean, Killua got to teach Gon how to do a kickflip, pretty much, and that was
Okay,
it.
that was the only productive part of that episode. You're right.
Yeah, that was it.
He's a skater boy.
But I mean,
He's just a skater boy.
they did eventually succeed though, because they after the rock paper scissors was Killua's turn, and then he just murked that guy, which is pretty insane.
I mean, he literally ripped his heart out with a very small scar
Yes.
left behind, and I'm like, ouch. I mean, I don't feel bad for that guy. He was a convict, but I mean, on like, you know, life sentences for doing horrible things. So I don't feel too bad, but it definitely made me go, oh shit, Killer was like scary, dude.
He's some serious
Yeah.
shit. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so how did that change your view on Killua? Because before that, it was kind of like, okay, this guy knows some stuff, but
Well, I remember on like the airship, he just killed those two dudes because he was getting frustrated with the master.
yes, yeah,
And so I already knew he had like a unhinged doesn't feel right because he's very smart. So it's not unhinged, but he definitely has like a rage that he just needs to let out. But this, he wasn't angry. He wasn't, you know, back against the wall. He was just like, okay, I'm gonna do it now. Like, I'm just like, oh, this guy's like just
Calculated?
He doesn't even need a reason. Yeah, he's super calculated and calm half the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, from everything else we read, I won't jump too far ahead, but from everything else we read, I went, yeah, that's exactly right. Like I'm compiling everything I know about him into that little opinion.
Yeah.
Well, after we finished that portion of the tuning exam, hunter exam, we got we got to the actual hunting portion that they did on that island, and I thought that might have been my favorite portion of the entire exam. Just the cat and mouse.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I think that was like the best part of this arc. I agree with you as well. And I know we're not really going arcs necessarily right now. We're just kind of picking numbers and stopping where it sounds good. But I thought that was the most fun because like we're talking about hunters. Like we still haven't clearly defined what it is the intent for being a hunter is for most people. And we're still kind of putting things together as to like what broad scale, like what does being a hunter mean, like for the vast majority of people. But I thought it was a lot of fun. It was a surprisingly small amount of combat that we saw.
It seemed like a lot of the interactions were more like technical, if that makes sense, where they were trying to get each other's badges without causing combat, without causing an interaction that actually brought strife or pain or anything. They were just trying to painlessly complete the task as easy and quickly as possible that was based on their specialties. And you saw that like right off the bat, that one dude gets nicked with the poison arrow, and then the other girl comes up and grabs his badge, and that was it. So there was a lot of stuff that was like that, and I appreciated that because it wasn't just all out hand-to-hand, weapon-to-weapon combat kind of deal. It was a lot more smart movements, trying to take advantage of the opponent's in a way that best suited their specialties, like I said.
Yeah. Like Gon trying his hand at just like, okay, I have Hisoka, and I'm just going to try and snatch it away from him when he's not expecting
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
To
like
train
that.
for that, he starts like hooking birds out of the air and stuff. And I'm like, I was like, that's clever. I still don't think it's going to help. It kind of does, you know, ultimately.
Yeah, it kinda
But
did.
At the same time, I'm like while he was doing it, I'm like, I don't think Hisoka's as slow as a bird. Like, I think this dude's way faster.
I think we've already established that Gon is like, not all the way there in the head.
I mean, yeah, of course. I get that. I'm just again, it was just in the moment while I was reading it, I was like, bro, I don't think a bird equates to clown.
really scary, fast clown man.
Yeah.
I think it was really hit home. Obviously, he's the main character, so he has main character power. But he has antagonist power, I guess, or protag power. But I think it was really nice compared to a lot of the things that we've read. It was nice to see like Gon is not like at its current state. He's not special. He's smart. Like, he's crafty, he's dedicated, but he's not special. He's not the strongest guy out there. He's not the fastest guy. He's not the smartest guy out there. He's just the guy that doesn't give up, which you could kind of expect. But like I think it kind of put it into perspective. Like, he's not top tier right now, and as I'm sure we'll see him get to that level. But like I thought it was fun to see, like, he's not at the top. He's probably middle of the pack, and that's kind of cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good
yeah,
observation.
I love it when protagonists actually have to climb their way to the top. They don't just start there.
Yeah.
It gives, obviously, the sense of, conflict. But it's one thing to have them, like, work their way to the top, and they're this prodigy that they're going to be at the top no matter what. But to see them be, like, it's still kind of middle of the pack this far in is like, I like that.
Yeah. Especially with that enemy that seems unbeatable at this point. And you got to see a little, like, from Hisoka, you got to see a little bit of humanization going on in there. Like, where he just blatantly chose, like, he wants to fight Luffy, or not Luffy, shit.
Wrong episode.
Yeah.
Wrong manga.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he wants to fight Gon when Gon is more powerful, and he sees a lot of potential there, and I think that's fun. Like, he's not exactly like, well, he probably is a maniacal berserk murderer, but he isn't that all the time.
Well, I mean, you see that when, man, you almost got me saying Luffy now. When Gon does snatch his badge, but then gets paralyzed, and the other dude that takes Gon's badge, Hisoka just comes back with his fucking head in his hands and hands the badge back to him. That's savage. No explanation. It's just clearly he took his head off. That's all the story that you need to know. There's no need for a big multi-panel, several chapter long battle. He just fucked him right up.
He probably fucked him as well.
I mean,
dude, I have it here. Hisoka is still just unsettling as a character. He's super powerful, but I have no idea what his game is. Like, what's the whole point of him being here? Just to find strong opponents? Like, I don't know. I still don't know.
Good luck.
He's clearly obsessed with Gon. As far as, like, I want to fight him when he's stronger because I see something in this kid. Yada yada yada. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what his deal is. He's still such an unsettling character. I don't cringe as much when I see him on the page. As I did in the beginning, where I'm just like, oh, this fucking guy. Now I'm just like, okay, dude, are we going to figure anything out about you today? No? All right,
Nope.
We'll move on then.
I think it's cool.
I do like him as an antagonist, and I also enjoy HunterXHunter in that it has a really good feel to it, as in you can tell who's supposed to be terrifying, who's like on a different level, who's like below the certain level of Gon, and like there's always a like, where is the next step? I'm a huge sucker for anything that is like, I can tell the main character needs to train, like we all love Dragon Ball. So it really keeps that going, and I love it.
Yeah, I think it does a really good job.
I thought so. I just sent a picture in the Discord, and it's one of several in there. But I think the biggest mystery for me is Hisoka.
Yeah,
like he is such a mysterious guy right now, and I feel like he's going to stay around for a long time. But he is so creepy in certain parts. Like and just looking up that picture, because I know it was referenced in this whole thing, but like I saw some really fucking creepy pictures of that guy.
I have to insert that in our Discord, directly above the super hella terrifying picture of Hisoka that John just shared is Buggy the Clown.
From One Piece. Getting punched. I'm sensing a theme with the mangas we're reading, that clowns seem to be a thing.
Oh, Tim, you're going to have a lot of fun. This is a little sidebar, but you're going to have fun I challenge you in when you're editing this episode to find my fart.
No.
Because I saw the waveforms of it.
You know what? You just made it so this episode has never seen the light of day. Sorry, Duncan, we wasted your time.
Oh, I laughed hard enough I had to lean back from my microphone.
Oh my god. Alright. Anyway.
Moving on. After the...
I did...
Go on.
Oh, sorry. I had one more thing to put about the hunting island thing. I
Please
did
do.
kind of almost feel like the card and the points for it. Maybe I was just like not reading carefully enough, but I feel like it got a little hand wavy towards the end of just like, we need our main cast to move on, so this is how it's going to work out. Again, maybe I just wasn't reading it carefully enough, but I definitely felt like it got a little hand wavy, but it didn't detract from the entertainment for me. Like it didn't feel any lesser because of it, but I definitely got the sense of just like, oh man, we need all our main cast to move on. So here's how it shakes down.
It could have shaken down another way as well, because I thought about this a little bit like as I was looking back through it, but so no matter how you squeeze this, everybody could have made it out of this one. Every single person. All they had to do is once they get on the island, find the if they were all good people, which obviously this isn't the case, but everybody hands their badge to the person that needs their badge, and then they all walk off.
But then everyone would only
Wasn't there
have 3
odd
points.
numbers? Yeah, you needed 6 points.
Oh wait, hold on. My math
get
is
3
wrong.
points
Never mind.
for keeping your own badge, and then if you get
Yeah,
your
that's
target,
right.
it was 3 points. If you get somebody that wasn't your target, you get 1 point.
No, I know the scoring system. I kind of just had a mental lapse there. All right, yeah, you're right. Never mind.
I just
they
figured I'd
didn't have 2
mansplain it
cards
to you.
each.
Yeah, thank you for that. I needed it.
You're welcome.
I take back that. Yeah, people had to die.
Yeah, well, and that's the other thing too. It's like, yeah, if these were good people. They weren't, dude. They immediately started killing each other.
Yeah, they didn't even. Some of those guys didn't even try. There's some ruthless people in this manga. Like
Hisoka being is one of them.
oh yeah, he's just a psychopath murderer, and we'll get onto it later. But he was very clear about that. He's like, he just wants to legally be able to kill people.
Yeah,
Which,
and I
I mean,
actually take
fair.
it back. Hisoka is not one of those ruthless people. He's like 5 of those ruthless people, all put into one. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know 6 ruthless people in this manga, and Hisoka is 5 of them.
And then the other one's Killua.
And the other one's Killua, right? And he seems, a lot less ruthless compared to his older brother, who we meet in this next part. This is the part I labeled the tuning exams because it was the one-on-ones.
How about that reveal? That was pretty interesting.
It was...
Very weird reveal. Yeah, I still don't really understand his power. Is it just like, are they special little magnets or something in his face?
Honestly, it was like, it's kind of like acupuncture changed his face to look like something else.
Oh, gross.
But it also made it
that's- I
difficult
guess-
for him to talk, because he kept doing the whole, chattery thing, which is way more disturbing if you watch it in the anime. Because
in the anime, he's rattling.
But his mouth barely moves, and he does a little chattery thing, and it's way more unsettling in the anime.
I thought it was like acupuncture, Botox, or something.
Yeah, that's really fucked up.
Illumi.
He just was...
His name is Illumi.
Illumi, that's right. But I guess that's what you should come to expect from a dude who, like Killua, is from the same family as Killua, of pro-assassins, like ruthless pro-assassins.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah, you should I guess, come to expect that shit from them because, why not? Of course.
Yeah, and
The assassins are cool. I like those guys.
since we're talking about the reverse tournament tuning exam that they did, I wanted to talk about what you guys said earlier. I just didn't want to jump ahead too far with Gon not quite being a leader in anything specific, when he has his first battle, and he just gets the shit beat out of him. Like, his arm's broken, he's just utterly fucked up. But he never gives up, which really speaks a lot to his tenacity and grit.
Yeah, he's a tough son of a bitch. He's
Yeah.
a tough son of a bitch. I mean, he takes so much punishment that the dude dealing out the punishment gives up.
Yeah, that was fun. I actually didn't expect that. I didn't know how that was gonna go. Just like any other manga or anime, I was kind of expecting this like big Rocky situation where like Gon's finally comes out and he's like, "Yeah, now I'm gonna win with one really cool punch." And he's like, "Nah, go ahead and kill me." Like,
You might as well kill me because I'm never giving up. And he's like, but I don't have to kill you. He's like, but you might as well. Like, what the fuck? What?
Yep.
Get this kid away from me. I quit.
yeah, but he is very tenacious, and that's something I didn't expect. Is as a result, like, all right, yeah, I mean, there's actually good people that are taking. That are taking the exam in addition to our core 4. Core 3 if we talk about good people. But yeah,
Core 2.
I thought that was really Well, yeah, probably 2.
Leorio's a good person.
Debatable.
Yeah, I still
I
agree
like
that
Leorio.
if any of them die at some point, Leorio is my pick. I'm down for that.
Yeah, he'd be the
Oh
one.
shit! He's a doctor. Fuck him.
Fuck him.
We don't need a
he's
white
a-
mage.
He's a greedy doctor. Fuck him. Allegedly greedy. It was just one of those. Another way this kind of subverted all my. Yeah, those Discord pictures are getting fucking scary. We'll upload them to the Facebook once we get everything sorted out. But one thing that really subverted my expectations was after Gon's fight, he passes out, and then he wakes up and is like, "Oh yeah, it's over." And even I'm sitting there going, "What? What do you mean it's over? What do you mean? We didn't get to see anything else." And we do in like secondhand flashback, but I was expecting okay, Gon's up there recovering, and then we get to watch the rest of what happened. I mean, we just get a recap of it. But it was a nice little subverting of expectations.
I kind of like that because we explored the timeline a little differently. It's not all linear, and the entire perspective is basically from Gon. So while he was unconscious, we as the reader didn't really understand what was happening. We had to learn it all secondhand, just as he did. And I think that helps us relate with his character. And then when he bursts into the, what would you call that? Classroom? Probably. Kind of like a classroom, like lecture hall kind of deal.
I was gonna call it a conference room.
Sure. The room that he bursts into with everybody else in it. And
he goes in, he goes, "Oh, hi, Mark."
Yeah, basically.
The room? Come on. Tommy Wiseau? Anyone? All right.
Nope. Smart for the room.
I thought
anyway.
that was a clever way of storytelling.
Yes, I agree. Like I said, it subverted my expectations in such a good way. I was very pleased with the outcome. I was shocked reading it. My immediate reaction was, "What the fuck?" But
yeah, exactly.
It worked out. I did have a little minor thought of where it was going to go when they said "Oh yeah, it's over." Instead of immediately finding out what happened, Gon would have to obviously Leorio and God, what's the other one's name?
Kurapika?
Yes.
Yeah, Kurapika.
Yeah, Kurapika would be waiting. Yeah, they would be waiting for him. My thought was they'd be waiting for him, but everyone else would be gone. And instead of them telling him who passed and who failed, he would just have to we would see them later on in the manga being "Oh yeah, I passed that day" or something like that. I don't know why they wouldn't have told Gon who passed and who failed, but I thought it was another one of those Hunter things where it's nobody gets to see who actually passes or not.
Yeah, you'll figure it out later. Get some behind the scenes irony.
I do like that about I do like that about the Hunter exam, though, is you literally do not understand the rules. Like, it could quite honestly be whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It was just kind of like, yeah, whatever. Like, the whole, like, oh, if you give up, you get another chance. Like, that's why the bracket was so silly looking and everything. And I'm like, oh, okay, so even if Gon loses his first fight, it'll be okay. So, like, they could put him up against Hisoka first, and, you know, he'll have another chance. But it said they put him up against the fucking ninja dude or whatever, and gets his ass beat and forces that guy to quit, and it didn't work out well for him.
I actually like that ninja guy as a character too, because he's very, I don't know, it's very ninja. I just think it's written well.
Yeah, no, I think he's written very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the bracket was... it didn't turn out to be what I expected. When I saw the bracket at first, I was like, oh no. Because Gon's popular, he has to fight a lot of people. Like, that's kind of how I thought it was going to be. And then turns out you just win one match and you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, thankfully. And he won because the other guy was like, I'm so tired of beating a child.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I just can't punch this kid anymore.
Now I was...
And he was slapping him, though. Like, that was the funniest part for me. Like, he just kept on rattling his brain by slapping him.
Oh, yeah. It absolutely rattled the boy.
We also learned that the way that he broke Gon's arm actually makes it stronger once it's healed, which is interesting.
I mean, yeah. But, you know, I'm not a doctor in the real world, but when we break our bones and they mend, the connection is typically stronger as long as it's that clean break.
Yeah. It's gotta be clean though.
This
it
guy
can't
did,
be like all
like this guy
shattered
did
and
for
stuff.
Gon. Right? Yeah, no, that doesn't work. But yeah, you're right. He did. He broke it clean, so that way it would actually get tougher.
Disclaimer: don't try it.
Yeah, don't do it.
Do not break your own arms.
Yeah, break your own
don't do
arm
it.
because
Break your limbs
ability-
regularly.
the only the ability to do it clean like this guy did is not in anyone's repertoire. Let me just put it that way.
We can't afford lawyers, so please don't do it.
I mean, if you do, you didn't get the idea from us. You watched HunterXHunter.
Yeah.
And if you get that idea, my name's Tim.
Well, then so one other thing that kind of threw me for a loop was there was only one loser, which I think they said there was only going to be one loser by the end of it. Oh no, they said under a very specific circumstance there would only be one loser and everybody passed, and that was Killua. Killua was the one loser, and I was like, "What? No way! That's our friend. What are you doing?"
That's our boy.
Yeah, and I knew right away that his brother had something to do with it because his brother's just a piece of shit, like an emotionless,
Facts.
dull-faced piece of shit, and yeah,
Kinda cute,
I was
though.
Very I thought it was a girl for like 2 seconds, and then they said it was his brother, and I was like,
That's
"Oh,
a
damn."
cute dude.
It is a cute dude.
Cute-looking dude.
He's a cute dude. He's got
Pretty
nice eyes.
smooth-faced dude.
He's clearly got like a lotion regime going on. He's got the moisturizer.
Yeah. Look, just because he's an assassin doesn't mean he can't be pretty.
Exactly.
That acupuncture is just working wonders.
It
Yeah.
really is.
His skin is so healthy.
And those luscious locks.
Yeah. Yeah, so Killua losing was not expected at all by me, but it really is the perfect setup for Gon's first little, stride into the world of being a hunter. It's the perfect setup. I'm going to go find my friend who's part of this incredibly dangerous family, but I don't care because he's my friend, and I'm going to use my hunter privileges to get there.
Which, one of the hunter privileges is the internet that Gon has never heard of. And I thought that was a pretty fun little thing
To
that
be
they
fair,
did.
this comes out before Naruto. I mean, the internet was not as widely popular as it is now.
That's a good
back when
point.
this was written.
I didn't think about that.
Makes
Oh, I
sense.
didn't even think about that.
At the time it was pretty novel, so I guess it was a bit of a luxury. I didn't think about that perspective. That's interesting, Tim.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's. I always do that. Like with One Piece, especially. Like I remember one episode where we talked about Sanji. I'm like, he's a very progressive character for a manga that was written in 1999. You know what I mean? He is, yeah. So this, the internet being a novelty. I don't know when this started being publicized, but I know before Naruto, and Naruto started in the early 2000s.
Yeah, so it had to be like before 2000, probably.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. Hopefully
I'm gonna look it up.
So
hopefully someone's looking that up.
I will say, and this is no huge spoiler, but later on they kind of use the Hunter license to access the internet, almost like you would at like a fort or a VA, where you have to put your ID in and then you can have access to the computer.
I see.
Yeah, so maybe in the beginning, that's why it was so exclusive. But later, you just put your ID in something and then it works.
Yeah, it evolves with the times. The writer gets caught up with the times and everything.
So,
I thought this was a perfect little. What's up?
1998 is the answer to our question.
Is when this started.
Yes.
Oh, so there's internet.
I mean, yeah, there's internet, but it's very.
It's dial-up.
You just have Hunter-specific websites.
Yeah.
www.hunter.org.
Huntersforhunters.org.
Yeah.
Hunters for... Oh, no.
Yeah.
Hisoka started that website.
Oh, no.
This really...
I am not going to touch that one.
Shit, dude.
Oh, my God. That is interesting, like the forethought, but also like just the liberties that they took, because this was also around the time where, I don't know if you guys remember the original Digimon movie, or Digimon in general.
I remember the original Digimon, but not the movie.
Oh, dude, they went into the internet on the movie.
They went into the internet every day on the show.
Yeah, but they did it. It was like a big room, like the internet.
And I did the same thing on Fairly Odd Parents, and that's much more a memorable show.
I think Digimon is cooler than Fairly Odd Parents, not Veggie Odd Parents.
You leave Veggie
Tales.
Timeless. That's a timeless classic.
This is a Christian podcast.
This is a Christian anime podcast.
I can't wait to read the Veggie Tales manga.
Maybe next week,
David
Nate.
vs. Goliath, the potato.
I was gonna say the Legends of Potato Jesus.
Sue us Catholics.
Aspera Jesus and the cross.
I can't.
Oh my God! It's Jesus on the cob.
Jesus.
He died on the cob
For your sins.
for your sins. Oh Jesus Christ!
That's what we're talking about. Yeah.
Literally.
Exactly.
Back to Hunter.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah, Hunter.
I need to
So-
I love the reputation behind Killua's family. The fact that they do tours of the village and point out their house, but then they're nowhere actually near the house.
Oh, yeah. They just have to point up the mountain. It's over there.
Yeah,
This is as far as you get.
Yeah, and then Gon's like, "Oh, we're gonna stay here. I want to go see my friend," and everyone's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Oh,
Good luck opening the door.
Yeah, well, there's so many good interactions here with the dog, the guard,
Mike.
the two guys who, the two guys who get eaten right away. Just to give you an idea. I didn't like how it looked like the paws were grabbing their skeletons and tossing them out. I thought that was a little unsettling.
Yes, it was.
It made me think that there was actually a humanoid beast back there, and then I saw it was literally just a dog, and I'm like, how could it grab things?
Like a Titan from Attack on Titan.
Yeah, something like that. But no, it was just a dog. But and the whole thing with the guard, was its own thing. I don't have much to say about that, but
Well,
I did.
Good.
I was just gonna wrap up by saying I did like the interaction between Gon and the dog. looking into its eyes and realizing it's a soulless monster.
There's
it's
nothing there.
It's not an animal.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing there, and that like really unsettles him.
No thoughts.
I think that's super interesting because of who Gon is, because he's been at one with nature like for his whole life. So he sees that animal and he's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
This thing really is just soulless, with the sole objective of killing people that enter the door.
Yeah, that's. I think that gives Gon his first idea of who like Killua really is, of just like, oh, these are the people he comes from. That's not good.
Yeah. Speaking of soulless and back to creepy a little bit, I'd like to say that the creepiest part of towards the end of this is when Hisoka calls Gon his friend, because in my mind it turned like a creepy stalker uncle. That's how it felt with me, because he was like, Gon is my friend. If you make a move on him, you'll die. And
when he was talking to Illumi at the end of the tournament thing?
Yeah. And then when the fruit is ripe, I'll pluck it. And obviously all the hearts and stuff. I was like, this guy's a creepy rape bastard.
This man's going after
Yeah, I'm
the
pretty sure
beehole.
Hisoka's a pedophile. I'm pretty sure he's a pedophile. Like,
He's a
nothing-
beehole hunter, is what he is.
Yeah. He's like, I just want to legally kill people and put it in little boys' beeholes.
Ugh.
Yeah, he's disgusting.
Speaking of creepy, I don't like at the end of every chapter towards the end of this, it's like dress up Gon segments.
That's a
I
little
don't know if
weird.
you guys. Yeah,
That's funny.
It's not funny. I don't know. Maybe
How's it not funny? You just
It was
put
a different
Gon in dumb little
time.
outfits.
This
it was a different
25
time,
years ago.
I'm not saying this is a reason to cancel Hunter x Hunter or anything. I just thought, I was like, who wants to do that? That sounds like a real waste of a page in my mind. But
Also, remember who his wife is. His wife
Sailor
is
Moon,
it's Sailor Moon, author illustrator. So like,
this is her
That
fault.
gives me an idea.
Oh my
Stop
god.
it. Stop it, whatever it is.
Your idea has probably been done.
like they
Tuxedo
actually
Man.
show
Also,
it.
it's been done.
It shows that they actually work side by side too. So who knows if there's just like little doodles and then he's just having fun.
Additional fun fact about me, I grew up with two sisters, and I watched a lot of Sailor Moon as a kid. It's actually pretty good.
I've heard
I'm
it's
not
good.
doubting it's. I'm
No
not
cap.
doubting it's good. I just whatever your idea was. been
Duncan
done.
said it's bussin'.
It's bussin', dude. No cap.
Sailor
FR.
Moon and bussin' should never be said in the same sentence.
Jupiter's my favorite. She my girl. Don't tell my wife.
All right.
Stop it.
Back on
Everyone
subject.
stop.
Back on subject.
Everyone leave her alone.
Back
Everyone
to
leave
Veggie
Sailor
Tales.
Moon alone.
Back to the real topic, Veggie Tales.
Leave her alone.
Veggie Tales. Yeah. My favorite was when Larry lost his comb and he sung a song about it. Or his hairbrush, not his comb.
Yeah, it was a comb.
No, it was his hairbrush.
It was a
hairbrush.
Where is my hairbrush?
Are we doing this? Are we
No,
do-
we're not. We're not. We're moving on.
We're gonna get copyright struck by Veggie Tales.
Just for that 2-second little thing.
and Jesus struck Duncan down.
Yeah.
I have
And
that.
we never heard from him again, thankfully.
I don't think Green Bean Jesus would allow a copyright strike.
Everybody knows that Jesus is an avocado.
I can't keep doing this.
Yeah,
Stupid.
we're over it.
I can't.
So Hunter x Hunter, it was great.
It was so good. I love it so
now-
much.
Today's been a productive day for references.
It has been. We've been having fun.
We did accurately cover with this reading. We did finish not just the exam arc, but the Zoldyck family arc. So
okay.
We
the
did.
next time we read this, we will be starting on a new arc.
That's exciting. And it's kind of interesting because, like, with some other manga that we read, like, you kind of see where it's all going. And I have no context with Hunter x Hunter, and I have no clue where the fuck this is going.
Agreed.
Yeah, all I know is that they do eventually meet up with Killua, and they get through all the trials. They get bullied by the butlers for like way too long.
Oh yeah,
Which was
The
actually
butlers
pretty
are
sick.
just there. I mean, it was sick. Don't get me wrong, but I felt like they were just getting bullied, and I'm like, these poor guys. They're getting fucked with. But the butlers are all badasses, dude. I mean,
oh
they
yes.
probably have to be if you're going to serve this family. What's their last name again, Nate?
The Zoldyck
Zoldyx.
family.
Zoldyx, that's right.
Suck on my
And there,
Zoldyck.
I actually wanted to touch on their. I wanted to touch on their dynamic as a family real quick. When we finally get to go see like Killua, he's chained up and being whipped by his older brother, one of his older brothers.
I think it was just
I
a
believe
guy.
that's correct. Wait,
What's that?
It was,
I think it was his brother.
I don't.
No, I'm pretty sure it was his brother because his brother calls the old man granddad.
Okay, maybe you're right.
I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Was
I
it
read
the
a lot
round
more
dude?
recently than-
It was the
Yeah,
round dude.
That's
yeah.
his brother.
Okay.
Round dude
Yeah,
is his
one of
brother.
his-
I can't remember his name.
I don't know his name. I just have
The
an
round
older brother.
one.
He is
so yeah,
a nerd.
Yeah, so he's
Okay.
chained up and being whipped because he made a friend, right? But then Grandpa comes in, his dad's dad comes in and says, "Nah, let him go," or like, "Hey, your dad wants to see you." And the older brother's like, "But Granddad, I'm not done yet. He needs to be taught a lesson." He goes, "Yeah, but his father needs to see him, so shut the fuck up." And he's like, "Ah, fine."
School.
Yeah, his older brother needs bullied.
And then in that exact moment, Killua was like, "Oh, I'm free to go? Cool." And he just pulls the chains out of the wall, breaks them off, and leaves. And I'm like, what the fuck? You
I
could
had
have
that-
done that at any point.
I have that specifically written down as Killua equals badass. Rips chains out of wall.
Which means he's sitting there taking this punishment on his own accord.
Because he wants to.
Like,
He gets
I don't
off
know
on it.
It's
why.
just a Sunday stroll to him.
He is
Yeah.
Rihanna all over again.
It's gotta be.
Chains and whips excite him.
Noise.
So then, yeah, he goes and he goes to see his dad. His mom hears about this and is like pissed off, like because his mom went to go find Gon and the others with his sister, Killua's sister.
I believe so.
She looks all, yeah, the mom looks all kinds of weird. She hears that Killua's let go and she's like furious. But I quickly got the idea that she's the one who married into this family. This is not her family. This is the one that she married into. So seeing Killua's dad actually encouraging him to making friends was trippy for me because I'm like, does he mean it? Or is this like is this a bad guy with a heart of gold thing? Or is this just being played out very well? As like, I want you to go make friends so I can murder them and you later. Like, I have no idea. I can't get a read on him.
It's I think what's trying to be portrayed is that Killua's dad is more like, yeah, I'm an assassin, but it's not really like completely cold-blooded. Like, it's hard to explain the vibe from the manga. It's super obvious in the anime that he's just like chilling, talking to Killua, like, yeah, go make friends, it'll be fine. But yeah, and he's just such an imposing force in the manga.
Yeah, I'm so curious as to like his motivation for that. Like, is it like, hey, I threw my life away being an assassin. I don't want you to do the same thing. Because everyone around him, except his granddad and his dad, I'm talking about Killua here. Everyone around Killua and his family, except his granddad and his dad, seemingly, are like gung ho. We need to murder people all the time because we're assassins and it's what we do. I guess I get it mostly from the mom again because she's the one who married into the family of assassins.
Here's what I take from it is that it gives you a having a friend. If something happens to your friend, you now have a new reason to kill, essentially. If you have to put it in like weird assassin like ways.
Right. And I mean, it would make sense, and I think that could be what his dad's getting at. Something itching in the back of my mind was like, this guy wants Killua to do this, but I can't point my finger as to. I don't think it's genuine.
Yeah,
I don't think it's genuinely like I want my son to have friends and not wind up like me. I think there's something behind it.
Yeah,
and maybe Nate's is right.
I agree with you, Tim. I think there's got to be some sort of overarching theme to his father's intentions. But my initial reaction when I read that interaction between him and his dad was, oh, his dad's trying to instill in him, like, your profession shouldn't be your personality. It shouldn't be who you portray yourself as. You should be your own person and have friends outside of your workplace. And as a 20-something-year-old, I found that to be quite wholesome. But now that we're talking about it, I think, yeah, there's got to be some shit going on. They're assassins. This is probably not a wholesome experience.
Yeah, there's some behind the scenes shit. I'm very eager to see like what the rest of this, like where we go next and what the family interaction is going to be like.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm excited. I enjoyed this bit. Just again, everything leading up to like basically everything that is summarized as Gon's first outing as a hunter was exciting. The coin game with the butlers, we watched a video on it earlier. The point where Gon cuts his own eye so that the swelling goes down so he can actually see what's going on. Like he was getting it right with one eye. And now that he has two eyes, he's on a whole nother level.
That was a pretty cool scene. I'm really glad that was that Nate, you shared that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you shared that anime adaptation with us because in the manga, it didn't really hold as much weight, in my opinion. Because it's like, yeah, you can see that they're moving fast, but you don't really understand it until you have a better like time visual of how quickly they're actually moving when they're like throwing the coin around and stuff. But the one thing that I noticed that was different between the anime and the manga was that the anime was always an intact coin. But in the manga, the coin got fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the faster they go, the more they melt the coin.
Yes. And I thought that was a really interesting display of strength. And like they're moving it so fast that it's heating up or they're giving it so much force. It's just getting mangled. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it was a very cool sequence. One, I was like, it was really wild to me though that they were like, we're gonna test your strength, and if you fail, we're gonna kill this butler kid. And I'm like, whoa, what the fuck did they do? And I knew they were like upset because that butler, that one kid failed to like stop him because Gon's like, yeah, you're not gonna kill me. Like I'm not scared of you, and he just walks up to her. And is it her, him? I don't know, but they with dreadlocks. Either way, like they Gon was like, yeah, you're not gonna kill me, and walks right up to him and just can read him. And then the other butlers are like, all right, well, if you don't play our game, we're gonna kill her or them. And I'm like, Jesus, these guys aren't playing around.
Well, I just want to throw out that I thought that she got killed right off the bat when Gon started talking to her and was like, I can see right through you. You're not an animal. Like, you have a soul and you have feelings. And then there was a panel at the very...
She got shot.
Yeah, it was like the last panel of the chapter. It looked like she just got fucking nooned right there. And that made me want to ask you guys what you thought of... Like, what was your initial reaction to that panel, specifically? All three of you.
One of you can go first.
I mean, yeah, I did. It might have been an oversight on my end, but I mean, really, I didn't think much of it. So I'm going back to it right now.
Minor character gets killed, whatever.
I mean, yeah, I was kind of like, I'm like, oh, this was just used to show like the ruthlessness of this family. Like that's all I thought was like, oh, minor character gets killed for no real reason, and I think it was the mom who did it. And I'm like, yeah, that makes all the sense in the world because these people are assassins and they're ruthless, and this is kind of their whole MO, right? The butler failed to do their duty, so they must be killed.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it again right now, and I mean, yeah, I'm feeling the same thing. Like, yeah, I get the empathy that kind of goes into it, and there is a little bit of gravity that goes into it, like showing what family you're kind of dealing with here. But I didn't, as the kids say, have any love in my heart for that character.
Yeah, I didn't either, and I didn't really care. Again, I feel like that character is just used to show the ruthlessness going around. So he's shot by the mom for letting go and get too close, and then is used as like a fucking, play our game or she dies thing as a hostage for the other butlers. Like, why would you work there? I would just leave.
Very true.
Yeah. I mean, with old Cyborg bitch, though, I feel like they missed an opportunity there. It could have been more like a special beam cannon type of thing.
That would have been cool.
But, yeah. No, I mean, I don't want to undersell it. Like, yeah, it's a big deal. But I was just, like, the entire time, I was just thinking, like, what the fuck's going on with Killua? Like, that was what my focus was.
Yeah.
My part was that I've seen this anime way too many times to have a reaction.
That's fair.
Another character goes down, Nate goes, meh.
I already know the fate of everyone since I'm almost completely caught up.
Ah, yes. And
now again, now you know how I feel when we go through our One Piece episodes.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are spouting theories and stuff, and I try to dance around them as often as I can, and sometimes you guys latch onto something I say that I don't mean in the way you intended to, but yeah, I know exactly how you feel. Of just like, I know how this all plays out, but I can't tell you.
Yeah,
I enjoy
I think
not
that it's the
knowing.
most fun that I'm having with this podcast in general is reading something that you guys have an idea of what's going to happen and I don't, so I can make guesses, and it almost feels like we're playing D&D.
yeah. That's a good. That's a good way to think about it.
Yeah, like, it could be anything, so we're just gonna keep throwing shit at the wall until something sticks.
Yeah, something's got it, right?
Yeah, something's gotta. Yeah, I'm excited. I would definitely say if we run into another little bit of a drought with as far as good manga go, I would love to come back to HunterXHunter at some point and read the next arc.
I agree.
This is a nice dive back into if we are swinging a miss 2 times in a row like we were over the last month with Phantom Seer and Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, if we do that, if that ever ends up happening again, we come back to HunterXHunter just as a palate cleanser because it is really good and fun to read.
It's our
Excellent.
safe space.
Excellent.
I'm glad you guys are having
cleanser.
fun with it. Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
The
Very
only
much
problem
so.
I have is that I want to keep reading it, but if we're going to use it as a palate cleanser in the future, I can't.
Right. Yeah. Unless
I think it's implied that we're gonna keep on going with it eventually. I think we will be finishing it. Not to say get ahead of your britches here, Duncan, but
You read my mind.
I will
Yeah.
say we will probably finish it before we finish One Piece.
There are
think
400
what-
chapters currently out, and I believe he's on hiatus. So
Yeah, so we have plenty of time to catch up.
I think we're gonna finish 400 manga before we finish One Piece.
Probably. We've already finished 2.
No.
I don't know.
We're already a tenth of the way through. Well, we didn't finish Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's just pump the brakes, buddy.
Okay, but as far as we're concerned, we finished it.
It's done. We're not reading anymore.
So, do we want to do final thoughts?
I think
Or
so.
Duncan,
Yeah.
Duncan or Nate, do you guys have more questions or?
I'm good. We covered like the main topics in my opinion, but unless you got something, Duncan.
I got a question. What is everybody's opinion on Killua's parents specifically, mom and dad only?
Ooh.
Well, you kind of got mine, which is mom's the psychotic bitch who's leaning a little too hard into the assassination thing, trying to impress dad, and dad is a shady figure who I can't tell if he's a genuine father figure to Killua or if he's manipulating him somehow.
Okay.
He's a genius either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I like Mom. I like how far she leans into it. I think it's I don't know. Maybe Dad has some serious under the pants game going on because she's all about it. But no,
Okay.
I will make my prediction now because I think Dad is one of the more mysterious characters we've encountered so far. I think in the future he's gonna try and kill Killua. I think it's kind of like a Gon Hisoka type of thing, whereas I think he wants to see Killua bloom a little bit. And then I think, I don't know, maybe like as a test, forcing him into the assassin life or something. I don't know. But I think he's going to try and kill at some point.
Interesting thoughts.
I would agree with that.
Well, my thoughts are basically that... Oh, go ahead, Nate.
Oh, I was just going to say, as far as since I don't want to spoil anything, I think as far as characters are written, I really like the grandfather and the father of Killua. I don't like his mom.
Yeah, she just rubs me the wrong way, man. I don't like it. She leans a little bit too. Like I said, I feel like is overcompensating because she's not she's not like Dad grew up in an assassination family, right? Because Grandpa and everything. Mom married into it, therefore, she has to like prove herself every single day, and I'm just like, lady, give it a rest. Give it a rest, and hopefully, divorce means killing each other.
Till death do you part.
I would agree that I kind of gave my thoughts earlier as well. That I want to like Killua's dad. It seems like he has good intentions at first glance, but I severely doubt it. And of course, his mom is just leaning way too far into the whole assassin thing. Like, you have to be perfect. You have to get straight A's in school. If you don't, you're a failure. And, like, if I won't love you if you're not perfect kind of deal. And that's just not the best way to raise your kid, in my opinion. So, in saying that, I think that we should move on to final thoughts and anything else that anyone has to say.
All right. I'll jump into a final thought on this. So my fun fact was about Killua being a entertaining, boring character. Reason being for that is I've never heard his voice. I don't think at all. So in my mind, I have the most monotone 12-year-old voice that exists.
That is accurate to the anime.
Okay, that's
very
great.
accurate.
So like
so
I'm really intrigued by his character. But in my mind, whenever I read any dialogue with him, it's the most boring thing that exists.
You
All
gotta
I have
watch.
to say, I really enjoy him, and I think he was my biggest takeaway, my biggest fun piece of this.
Watch one episode with him in it, English or Japanese dub. It's the same.
I kind of don't want to saturate what my preconceived thoughts are as far as everybody's voices go.
That's fair.
Rewatch the coin clip in our Discord. He says something in it.
Yeah, I was going back and forth between pages, so I think I know his voice, but I'm choosing to ignore it.
That's fair.
Fair enough. Yeah, my final thoughts on this little bit would be just super entertaining all the way through. I mean, the Hunter exam kept you guessing, even with the little throwaway line that they said of like, after all the hunters left and the examiners are still standing there, they're like, well, after all, this isn't the real end of the examination. And I'm like, what?
Oh, yeah.
Like, and it's meant to be like, you know, their real first test is still coming. So it kept me guessing the whole time of like, what's it gonna be? And I hope the next arc, you know, we find out. But or if nothing comes of it, then that's just good storytelling. That is like,
Life is the test.
keeps me going. Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, it's like, oh yeah, the test was the adventure all along. And we found out a little bit more about Ging being this super top secret ultra Navy SEAL recon force guy. And that's really cool. I'm really intrigued. I can't wait to hear more about Gon's dad. And yeah, the Killua family stuff was fun. The end of it was just kind of like, all right, guys, I'm going to go hang out with my friend now. I'm like, I kind of wanted to see, like, I don't know, a little bit more conflict other than just Gon and the crew getting jerked around for 10 chapters. But it all worked out. It was still entertaining. We got a lot of good characters, so I'm happy about it.
Well,
Yeah.
my final thoughts with this is, well, you mentioned how you want some more conflict. The next arc, whenever we get to it, is another 20 chapters, and it's called Heaven's Arena. So we're gonna see a lot of conflict. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
It's, to me, like, it's great because One Piece, we're breaching into the Grand Line, and this is the Heaven's Arena thing is where this starts to really pick up, and it's gonna get really interesting. The series starts to gain a lot of traction here and opens up a whole lot of avenues. It's great.
Couldn't have planned it any better than lining it up with the One Piece Grand Line.
I'm excited. Heaven's Arena. If we link it back to Veggie Tales, Battle of the Beans.
Oh, no.
Big facts. The biggest of facts.
Christ on a cob.
All right. Well,
Duncan, do you have any final thoughts, or are you just going to leave us dangling here?
well, my final thoughts are I want to keep reading it, but it's not my turn to recommend. So, Nate?
So, let's give something different a try. I heard this one was a comedy. I looked at it a little bit. It seems pretty funny. It's called Mashal, Magic and Muscles. It's by Hajime Komoto. We're going to give it the old 20-chapter try.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
And
Free
that's
trial.
Mashal, Mashle, Mashal.
Correct.
All right.
Cover art, I'm ready right away. I can't wait.
It was pretty funny, the little bit I read, but we'll see how everybody feels.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
20 chapters in Mashal, and yeah, that's what we'll be in next time. So, gentlemen, thank you all for joining us. Duncan, thanks for letting us catch up in Hunter x Hunter,
Of course.
giving us the opportunity, at least John and I. And thank you, everyone else, so much for listening to us, Babylon. And we'll catch you, everybody, next time on That One Time We Read Manga. Bye.
Bye, everybody.